What's up, guys? Nick Wagner here, back with another Achoo! Okay, focus. What is this video about?
I think it's about
Photos.
Photos.
Photography tips.
Photography tips for people that suck.
I am a producer.
Okay, what's up, guys? It's Nick Wagner. I'm here with another. That's such a cliche thing. I'm not doing that. Okay. All right. So, tip number 1 for beginner photographers: don't suck. That's it. That's the video. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. All right, just kidding. The first tip is going to be pretty much a combination of all the other tutorial, beginner photography tip type videos. Learn your camera, learn basic settings, always shoot on manual exposure. So that'll force you to learn the camera and learn the ins and outs. Basically, you want to learn all the rules of photography. And yeah, I don't need to make a 10-minute video explaining why you need to know how to do all that separate things. I'm just going to make that my first basic tip. If you want to, there's a million other tutorials on YouTube talking about basic settings and basic compositions and stuff like that. So after this video, if you want to, go watch those if you don't know anything about that. But going forward, we're just going to be talking more tips about technique and philosophy and stuff like that about photography. Cut. Okay, before I get into the rest of the tips, I just want to do a quick disclaimer. In no way, shape, or form do I think that I'm the greatest photographer in the world, that everything I make is perfect, that I have all the answers to everything. Photography is an art form, and just like every other art form, it's subjective. Is that a toilet, for real? That's unbelievable. Can you shut up, please? Okay, just like every other art form, photography is subjective. Things that I like, other people probably don't like. Stuff that I make, a lot of people probably don't like. So probably, this is kind of a pre-bonus tip. Figure out what you like. Okay, so tip number 2, which is actually gonna be like my tip number 1. Break all the rules that you learned about in the first tip that I talked about. Photography as an art form, like I mentioned, is not about the perfect settings. It's not about the perfect technicality of it. It's about being able to tell the perfect story. That's what, in essence, photography is to me, is telling a story. I mean, we've all heard that old adage, the picture's worth 1,000 words. And that's really true. Like, you can capture so many emotions and so many different facets of life and situations in one image, and that's really what it's all about. So don't focus so much once you learn all of those rules. Don't focus on always following those rules, because a lot of the best photos are taken by breaking those rules and knowing when and knowing how. So tip number 2, get off Pinterest, get off Instagram, get off social media if you're looking for inspiration for an upcoming shoot or just trying to find your own style. Pinterest is, in my opinion, which again, take it or leave it, I'm no expert, is cancerous to creativity, because in my experience, what I've seen is people going on Pinterest, they'll make a board and they just literally copy and paste basically those photos into their camera. And that's not creativity. Creativity. That's not creative. So yeah, get off Pinterest. What I think you should do is look at other art forms as inspiration. Like for me, if I'm getting ready for a shoot, I'll watch a film that I love, some by like cinematographers like Roger Deakins, Hoyt van Hoytema, however you say his last name. Another big inspiration of mine is looking at old French Impressionist paintings, which I highly, highly recommend, because the use of colors and like texture and how the light impacts the colors and all that is really inspiring to me, and just yeah, so tip number 2, get off Pinterest, get off Instagram looking for inspiration. Well, actually, with Instagram, I can't really knock it too much because I'm a big fan of Instagram in certain situations. If you're looking, could you stop?
You had a stroke. Alright, you're good.
All right. So when it comes to Instagram, be selective of who you're getting inspiration from. Because if you're looking at someone who's got millions and millions of followers, if you're getting inspiration from them, so are millions and millions of other photographers. So try to find people who are more in your niche or more creative or more like, just be more selective with who you follow on Instagram. Because again, the more people that is following a certain influencer, the more people that are trying to create something that's super similar, if not a carbon copy of what they made. So tip number 2, get off Pinterest, get off following the massive influencers on social media if you're trying to get creative inspiration for a shoot. Okay. Quiet on set. All right, tip number 3 is learn as much as you possibly can about light and about color. Light is the essence of photography. Like, photography literally means writing light. You're taking the sensor that's in your camera and you're just stamping the light that's in front of you into the sensor, and that's what's creating the photo. And then color is important because color is important. Because color, you want to learn as much as you can about color because color theory is going to have a massive impact on the mood and the whole like tone of your photo. Because you can either have a lot of like complementary colors, which are opposite of each other on the color wheel. You can have analogous colors, which are like similar. You can have, when you start messing around with like lighting and stuff, you can have the sort of color contrasting like this. I got a warmer light here, that's the key light, and then I've got a kind of blue tealish light over here, just giving that little color pop. So yeah, when it comes to learning about color and light, my favorite thing is to look at cinematography. You can go on YouTube and just type in cinematography, there's gonna be a million different videos on it. But the thing that makes movies so emotional and so aesthetically pleasing is that these people that are creating these, the directors of photography, are masters of light and color. So that's my 3rd tip, is just learn as much as you can about how light reacts to different objects and different, like the sun, where it's at in the sky, how it bounces off of objects and doesn't bounce off of certain objects, and then how different colors can impact the mood of your photography. That could not have been timed any worse.
If you give up on your dreams, it might give you time to get actual stuff done. Don't let idiots ruin your day.
All right, and for tip number 4, it is spend time in post-processing. Now, I will say you don't want to spend too much time on one particular image because then you just start to nitpick about stuff that really doesn't matter. What I'm talking about is through the course of your photography career, just spend as much time as you can learning about your editing software. Like for me, I use Adobe Lightroom and it works great for most purposes that I need. The more time you spend in these editing softwares and the more time you spend like working on your images, you'll start to develop like your style and what you want your images to look like. And that's gonna also in turn influence the way that you shoot. Because for me, editing is a fairly significant part of my kind of aesthetic or vibe to my photos. I do a lot of black and white recently because I really, really love how like color can affect the mood of a photo. So if I'm not really digging the colors in a certain image, I'll usually just turn it to black and white. I don't really want to put a photo out that's got kind of boring or bland colors to it. So yeah, editing will affect how you shoot, and how you shoot will affect the editing, because you want to get it right as much as possible in camera, because that just makes your life a lot easier. Another thing is your style is going to change over time. So don't be afraid to just go through, put your edits on your photos, and then you don't want to spend too much time on one particular photo because odds are, if you're anything like me, you're going to go back in 2 months and re-edit it completely different because your style's changed and what you wanted to say with that image has changed.
Hey guys, quick note. This is specifically talking about recreational photography. If you're doing anything commercially or for clients, definitely spend the time to make sure that the image you're getting to them is exactly how you want it to be.
So don't be afraid to go back and re-edit old photos. You'll see like how far your editing skills have come or how different your taste is now, because it's really kind of cool to be able to take those old photos that you're like, oh, those suck, and then you re-edit it, put your new stamp on it, and then it's something that you can be proud of again. So tip number 4, don't be afraid to spend time in post-processing. All right, and tip number 4 or 5, I lost count. Whatever tip this is, my last one, and it's definitely the most important, is just shoot. Take photos. Get out as much as you can, shoot as much as you can, as many different kinds of things as you can. Never turn down an opportunity to take your camera out and get some experience, because again, learning all the different rules and all the different settings, I mean, there's a lot to kind of learn about this art form, and the more experience you get, at the end of the day, that's gonna make your photos better. Like, you can look up all the different color theories and learn all about light and stuff, but if you're not actually practically getting your hands on your camera and getting out and shooting and taking photos, you're never gonna get better. Any situation that you get put in that kind of makes you uneasy or maybe makes you scared, like you're not prepared or you're not good enough, do it, because odds are you're better than you think you are, and taking those kind of chances and challenging yourself to grow as an artist is gonna make you better and elevate your skills higher than you ever thought they'd go. So that's it, guys. That's my 4 or 5, again, I lost count, tips for beginner photographers. I appreciate you guys so much for checking out this video. If you watched it this far, leave a like, subscribe. You can hit the little bell to turn on notifications and you won't miss any videos from me. If you want to, which I highly recommend you do, follow my Instagram. I'll have it here, and then I'll also have a link down in the description. Love you guys. Appreciate you for showing some love. And if you could share this, get it out to as many people as you can, it'd mean the world to me. Appreciate you guys. See you next time.
Just speak normal.
You're gonna have a great blooper reel.
Hi, my name's Christian. I don't know anything about photography, but follow my Instagram, Christians.life.
How's my hair look? Does it look
Looks
as bad
good.
as usual?
Oh, it looks fine.
Okay, of course it does.
A receding hairline though.
Why you gotta say that? Why you gotta say that?
That's what you get for calling me ugly.
It's not funny.
Neither is me calling me ugly. So.
Either is saying the ass.
Why is your whole ass out?
There's people walking around.
Did you just get a booty pic? He just got a booty pic.
You should write a book about that.
That's the title. Crazy hot emotional Christian sex.
And one bestseller, then I'll be stunting on all you.
Sex outside of marriage is bad, kids. Don't be sinners. Alright, back to photography advice.
I don't know why this is so hard for me.
Talk to me.
I don't like looking at your face. It's bothering
No one
me.
does, it's fine.
I hate that we laugh at the end of like all of this.
Same.
You said something about